Okay. Ugh, can't believe Dean is watching this. Okay, let's just get started. So, yeah, let's just start with the eye. So I have a drawing layer here. Um, so you can use brush tool or you can use pencil tool. And yeah, I guess I won't explain a whole lot because I did some stuff in my YouTube tutorial and stuff. But there are advantages to both, and I don't think I've actually covered a whole lot of pencil stuff, but we're gonna use pencil today. And I'm not gonna worry too much about the model. It's not going to be final or in any sense. So we're just kind of playing around here. Um, so yeah, just use the ellipse tool to make a circle or ellipse, obviously. And let's see, Alt W is the default for, what is this tool called? Pencil editor. So Alt W kind of brings this up, and then I'll hold Control and kind of, at default it'll give you like just one point to manipulate, but if you hold Control and click on the side here, you can kind of manipulate the thickness in that way. Let's see. Kind of like that. Can I get rid of? I should be able to get rid of this, right? Yes? No? Maybe you can't get rid of like the original points. And if you kind of select the area and then use arrow keys up and down, you can kind of adjust it that way too. Yeah, so there's our basis for eyes. Oh gosh, terrible, terrible. Let's make a new palette. Emily 3/4 front. Let's call this one eye trace. And I'll probably disable the camera so you get entire view here. Yeah, Pam, Dean, yeah, just feel free to chat away. I'll check every now and then to see if anyone's asking questions. But when you ask a question, like, please give like a full description on what the question is, because like the stream timing is kind of off, and I'm not actually listening to the stream side of things. So let's see. Let's just do this for her. Oh, for eyelashes. Yeah, I don't. Should I do this properly? I suppose I should do this properly. Cause yeah, like to do this properly, even her like individual eyelashes will be its own thing, or at least these three parts. Yeah, let's do that. But for now, new eye. Let's just call this eye white. Is Dean saying to separate the eyelashes? Yeah, I'll probably. Yeah. Let's see, eye white. So fill, cut, and I'm gonna paste that here in the, if you go on the bottom here, there's a line layer, color layer. I'm gonna put it down like that. Although, like, should I might fill this later, because I kind of want to see the pupil. Okay, let's just keep going. The way I'm doing is it's kind of pretty manual. I never did it professionally, so I don't have the good workflow down. Okay, what's next? Eyebrow, or just brow. What ifs? Oops. Yeah, for this eye, I might just kind of mirror this and then squish it. Just as a cheat. Let's work on her nose. Ugh, this is amateur mistake. Okay, let's brow. Have a separate color wheel for brow. Okay, what next? Nose. Dean says, are you organizing the network as your drawing queue? Is it possible to share network view as well? I think so. Well, I guess I can put it here. I usually like do the network stuff when I finished all my drawing, but I don't know, Dean. I don't you guys for work, don't you guys have template? Or I thought you guys had template at where you work. But when I actually like look at the builds from there, it's like every character was like so completely different that I don't know, maybe it was someone new who was building it, but either way, I think the end result's gonna be kind of similar. It's just how fast I do it. The speed might be different. So this is a network. Yeah, like I said, I usually do this after I get most of the drawing down. So you can kind of see the network here. Okay, where are we? Nose, that's right. Alright, triangular nose. Fill. Although, do I want it that pointy? Yeah, maybe I'll give a bit of roundness on the edges here. Oh, okay, just a slight. And mouth. Mouth is his own whole other beast. I think for today we'll just do just keep with the smile. Yeah, let's just do that for today. Cause yeah, there's the mouth, lip. Depends how you want to break it up. Depends how you want to break it up. Let's do a quick drawing here. Cause sometimes, yeah, in some productions, your lips would be, you know, I mean, they even just use like one drawing for it. Like, you'll be like IUAO, like that shape. But if you want versatility while you're animating, you know, like sometimes you want that just upper mouth, and then have that separate, and then have this separate, and have a teeth in its own element, and the bottom teeth is own, and then tongue, and I think that's it. And then you kind of like mask that off, and so that's pretty much like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish different separate elements working together for the mouth. Maybe we'll do that later. That'll take us some time. So in the pencil editor mode, I'm just selecting the corners and I'm making it arrow, keyboard arrow down, and then if I hold Alt, I can kind of make the edge come out like so. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna make this part a little bit thicker, and then it'll be nice swoosh. So the pencil tool is amazing. I used brush tool for the longest time, but you know, when it's brush tool is much harder to manipulate. It's a lot intuitive, but pencil tool gives you a lot more options down the line. Then if you want to change something, you can do it so much faster and a lot cleaner too. So let's see. So I'll fill that eye white again here. Oh yeah, let's work on eyelashes. We'll call it lashes 1. The naming scheme, I usually call what's in front 1 and what's in the back 2. So let's look at some questions. So Joshua asks, does Flash use networks too? No, it does not. No, it does not. That's network is what makes Toon Boom so superior over Flash. It's just visually, like, you can see where it connects. Let's see if I can pull this. Right now, I don't know if you can read these texts, but what's on the left side of this composite? Let's make a composite too, actually. Oh shoot. What happened? So what's on the left side of the composite will be on the top, and the far right will be on the bottom. So let's say eye, pupil. So if you look at here, this is eye element, this is pupil element. So pupil is connected in front of the eye, but if I move the pupil back like this, just click and drag. You don't have to go to frigging Flash chart down here, timeline. You don't have to mess with that. So it's just simple as that. So if I drag it back, like the pupils now is behind the eye, which eye includes the eye white as well, so you can't see it. But yeah, we'll get into it a bit later, if I ever get around to it. Jose asked, how important is it to have separate color for each element? Very, 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 very important. Because in Flash, like, black is black. Like, there's no separating it. But in Toon Boom, you want to have as many palette as possible in case you ever want to change something, or you can, like, once you build Emily here, to make my life easier so I don't have to rename all this stuff, I can just take this character and then kind of start to manipulate or redraw some parts for making Chuck. In that case, if they have a different color, let's say for example if Chuck had like a green eyes, then all I have to do is like go to pupil and then just change to green, and it's simple as that. And you can do it on the fly. It's just so good, so good. And yeah, Dean, pencil tool for the win. Oh god, yeah. I mentioned yesterday briefly I worked on a show called Fangbone, and that's when I really learned to use pencil tool, and I'm never going back to brush tool again. Lewis asked, there's no armature. Are you talking about like the bone and stuff like that? There's a thing called deformer that you can use, but we'll get into it later. But you generally you just kind of like separate it. For example, if the arm wants, if you want to break this arm into two pieces, you know, you just draw one piece like this and then second piece like that, and then you just kind of rotate it. Like it doesn't necessarily like connect. What is it, like inverse kinematic? Like, I think there is that in here, but no one uses it. It's a waste of time. Okay, eyelashes. Let's get to that. Lashes. Yeah, I mean, I said separating this as much as the colors as much as possible is good. But I mean, obviously, it is very time consuming. So depending on the production, if you know, if your show is going to be like, if you know for sure that, you know, you're gonna use all blacks and no color lines, then you know you can choose to have just a one black color whale and just use that for everything. For the lashes, I'm just gonna copy it twice so I can have it down here. So copy. Let's see, do I want to... Yeah, I'll do regular paste. Wait, do I want that? No. Let's copy, paste special, it's called Control B. Go to basic, always create drawings, advanced tab, create new columns. Let's see, I should explain what I'm doing here, shouldn't I? Oh, crap. So I'm basically copying it and pasting it in such a way that if I manipulate drawings from lashes 1, this one, it won't affect this one. If I just do regular copy and paste, Control C, Control V, if I change something with this, it'll get affected to this as well. It has its own uses, but for now, let's just do this. Yeah, I mean, it will take like super long if I want to explain every step of the way. So hopefully, just for now, for today, you can just kind of see the general workflow if I'm simulating such a thing. So you can see that. So yeah, let's do the head. So her face is fairly simple. It's just basically circle for the head. If depending on if you have a different character design, if the character has like a jaw or ears and hair, overlapping hairs and all that stuff, then that's another whole issue you need to actually think about. Lucas asks, is it possible to use drawing substitutions on a unique bone deformer? I think when you make a deformer, I think it applies to only that particular drawing. There are ways to actually kind of like duplicate that. On a different drawings, but I don't know a whole lot about deformer. But you gotta go into the network and kind of play around with it if you want to use deformer in that way. I'll get to deformer in a second, because I did a walk cycle with her, but I did a deformer on her ear and that worked out pretty well. Oh crap. Do you know what? Let's just do a thing called line, because and then just apply to her face here, because yeah, because I know, like I sort of mentioned it before, as like a quote-unquote art director, I want all the lines to be black. Okay, ear 1. So let's see, how should I do this? I guess I want the straight. Can I do this? Can I do... So I'm gonna go in here, make 2 points like so. Select the bottom half. Ta-da! Alright, let's do that for now. I'm not too picky about like how things look because I don't even know how her ear shape and face shape supposed to be like. What else we got? Let's do her hair. Work on her hair. Why, Dean? What's wrong with the pupil? Do you guys do perfect circle for pupil and just let animators elongate it when they animate? Her hair. Let's see. Her general hair shape is kind of like this. And the way I kind of have it right now, this hair on this side will be totally flush with her side of her head. Very rarely it will go out this way. This is like a weird thing, but yeah, like for now I kind of want to keep everything going this way. Like even if she was running, at most this hair would be kind of like that. I don't know if it would work, or maybe like this, but for now I don't really want her hair to go out like that, so we'll work with it that bit. So you could, okay, so this hair I'm gonna kind of build it like this. This hair I'm gonna build it like that. This hair like this. Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say you could just build this hair just this shape, you know, just one singular shape like this. But what I'm gonna do is kind of separate it. So let's get another drawing here, another color. So I'm gonna separate that. So this will be one piece, that will be another piece, that will be one piece here, and that'll be one other piece here. Let's just keep this one for now, cause whatever. So yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, I was just reading the chat. So the reason why I kind of want to separate it is, you know, it creates a nice, when you're animating, you can kind of do a nice, like a subtle, like when she's like bouncing and stuff, you can kind of make these like two pieces kind of on a different timing and like kind of separated, so it doesn't look super flashy and like, I mean, of course that's not the correct term, I suppose, but it's not gonna look super like tweened, like a super simple looking animation where you just kind of manipulate like one piece and it just looks awful. So for her hair, for now we're gonna separate into those 5 pieces. So for our first drawing, we're just gonna call it Okay, hair top 1. And let's see, what color should this be? Let's just take it directly from that. So there's eyedropper here, and you can this detects like everything on screen. Like if you want to eyedrop this like this weird icons up here, you can totally do that. It's so amazing. Yeah, you can totally eyedrop like everything, whereas like Flash. Ugh. Anyways, we'll call this palette hair, and take the stroke tool. This message says, oh, you made a stroke tool, but since stroke tool is invisible, you won't be able to see it. Now I can. Ta-da! Oops. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna duplicate this hair because I'm too lazy to rename it. Alright, so there's that. Let's keep going. Hair. I don't know. Hair side 1. I'm so terrible at naming. Okay. This guy be something like that. And let's see. Do you know what? I'm just gonna duplicate these two and then put it on this side. Duplicating with paste special. Although, yeah, I'll just move it from here. That works. That works just fine. Okay. I think we can get the basic head done today. Bye Leah. I probably missed you, but see you later. Oh, Dean's gone too. Bye, Dean. Let's see. Okay, I'll continue on. Yeah, let's create a palette called Skin and start to fill these in. Actually, I kind of want to straighten this out as much as possible. Ideally, you want this to be just like, you want the vertical lines to be perfect. Hang on. So, okay. Sorry about that. So, right. Oh, have I been drawing on the color layer all this time? Oh, that's gonna be a problem. I'm just gonna cut and paste these back into the proper place. I'll leave the hair where they are. But yeah, this line, you want that to be on the line layer of the element that you're drawing. And let's fill this, cut, paste it into the color layer of this element. So each element that you create actually has 4 layers in total. Those are overlay, line, color, and underlay. So those come into play later if we actually get into building this thing. So I'm just gonna copy your ear. Yeah, just gonna move it like so. Kind of like that. Her face. Like so. I want the head to be in the very back so I can actually see what all this is. So I'm slowly getting to organize the networks here. Hello, Franco. Lewis asks, do you ever make rims for characters? I don't know what you mean. Can you explain what you mean by rims? Pam, this is yeah, I mean this is not even the half of it. After I kind of like finish building the basic head, I'll show you my other build, which is kind of outdated, but okay, so head, ear, ear. Okay, let's rename this thing ear 2. Ear 1 is here. Okay, let's see. What should I do first? Let's work on the eye first. So where are we at with that? I'm just gonna make another composite to organize this whole thing better. So when I like kind of look at this thing, like this is eye, and I can probably put a brow there as well. So these are lashes, pupil, eye. I think we can probably brow one. Start to put some pegs on this thing. I'm just gonna select all this. And then over here in the timeline, there's this button called add peg. So I just hit that and it adds pegs to all the selected ones. And then up here, I think there's a button called order network up. So I just hit that and hit OK, and it kind of organizes a little bit nicely. Yeah, I mean, this all stuff I don't particularly expect. If you're new to Kyu-bum, I don't expect you to actually understand it because I'm not actually explaining like every step by step. And especially like building, like you probably wouldn't get into building first. You probably more likely just animate existing build and get to know how all that works, and it all kind of comes naturally. So let's see. So by default, when you create like an element, the pivot of individual pegs. Oh god damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly explain this first. When you first make an element, by default, I think the animate using animation tool is enabled. I hate this thing, so disable it. It's kind of a good thing I caught it now. Oh, that's strange though. It's turned off by default. I don't know why it's. Oh, okay. No, we're good. We're good. I think it's turned off for rest of the elements. Okay. So the pivot point. Okay, I'll explain this quickly. Okay, we have elements. We call these elements these drawing layers. And then up here, the green stuff is what we call pegs. So this blue element, or element that is blue square right here, it only stores kind of drawing information. And then what's attached on the top, the peg, it only stores movement animation, information that is just like animation information, right? Like, so if I kind of like move this around, that this transformation information is only stored at this peg. So if I delete this, then it kind of resets back to where I first drew this eye. So basically, I just want all this peg pivot to be kind of where I want them. Right now, it's all every one of them are at the center of the document. So when I like rotate it, it's kind of rotating off of this axis, which I do not want. So for the eye, kind of want it in here-ish, because when you animate, like, of course this is not blinking, but if she's kind of squinting a bit or kind of surprised, you know, the top moves more than the bottom. So I want that pivot to be here rather than perfect center. It's not quite natural. Oops. So yeah, I want that there. For this guy, for pupil, I want it to be a dead center. Ideally, I would make it like super dead center, but this is close enough. All these individual lashes. kind of like that, and that. Brow, kind of want it on the outside here, because that's how eyebrows work, right? The muscles kind of attached to the outer edge, and it's more expressive. Goes up and down more on the inside. So anatomy, you know, it all applies here. Okay, how are we doing on time? This will probably go on for another 20-30 more minutes. Yeah, I'll finish up the head, basic build of the head, and we'll continue on some other time. So, okay. So now, you know how eyes work, right? Everybody knows how eyes work. Like a pupil kind of stays inside should stay inside the eye white, where the eye white is. So let's make that happen. So for that, we're gonna need something called modules. So here's a bunch of existing modules and Toon Boom. It's very confusing at first. It's just like, what the heck is all this stuff? So what do we need? We need cutter for this, and color layer module. Okay. Color layer under C. Color art. There we go. I think this is all we need. So basically, I want, yeah. So I want this eye pupil to be cut by this eye white here. Actually, instead of color art, I need auto patch. I think that's how it works. It's been a while. So let's just do it, and maybe I'll explain it just afterwards. So like so. No, that did not work. Wait, this is the eye. Auto patch as the cusp like that. Oh, invert. Perfect. Aha! Ahaha! Now let's take a look. To make your viewing experience better, I'm going to change your pupil to blue. No, red. Let's do red for now. Okay, so right now it's effectively being cut by the whites here. Okay, Lucas asked, "Hey Q, is there a way to edit drawing substitution order position after I already made a few drawings?" You're talking about in the, okay, here, right? Drawing substitution. I think there is. I'm not quite good at it, navigating all this stuff. So I think if you go to under Windows, no, not timeline, X sheet, and it kind of brings up all this stuff. And I think you can either change the order here or rename it, and I think it does alphabetical. I think you might be able to change the order from the X sheet, or if you rename it. Yeah, for me I just rename things and then it automatically sorts alphabetically. So if I have like a mouse shape, it'll be like Happy Mouth 1, Happy Mouth 2, so and so, and it was just like listed, and then Sad Mouse 1, Sad Mouse 2. So H is before S, so it'll be like Happy Mouth. Happy Mouth will be in the I was like pointing at my monitor, sorry you couldn't see that. It'll be Happy Mouth like 1 2 3 4 5, and then Sad Mouth 1 2 3 4 5. Like but yeah, that's something I haven't played around a whole lot with, but I think X sheet is the way you do it. Okay, so the eye, how did that work? Okay, this auto patch might be, it's a little bit slightly advanced, so I'll explain without this auto patch. So this cutter, this is basically like Toon Boom's version of masking. So this cutter module has two nodes. On the right is the what's going to be visible. Yeah. So what's going to be visible? So we have a pupil. So pupil comes through here, the cutter, and it's going to be visible, and it's gonna end up on the screen. On the left side, it's going to be the mask portion, what it's going to get cut by. So right now, without auto patch, I just hooked up the entire eye element to this left side. So right now this eye contains both the black outline and the white. So if I ask the pupil to get cut by that, so what will happen is we get this. It is being cut like we asked to, but it's, you know, like we get this whole situation going on. So we want this to be cut only by the eye whites. So that's where auto patch comes in handy. So if an element goes through auto patch, what auto patch does is it only selects the color. If we look inside the eye element here, we separate it into the line and color. So the black sits on the color line layer, and her eye white sits on the color layer, obviously. So oh yeah, I guess I should explain this thing. So at first, like, you might think like, oh, like you know, like, since the eye white's only on the color layer, you know, let's just take the color art module, which will, if it goes through this, it'll only show the color art portion of it, like for example like so. So let's hook it up into the cutter, and that should work. If you're working with the brush tool, it would, but right now we're working with the pencil line tools, and the pencil line tool, right now this white is being filled all the way, not to this edge, but to the center of this black line. So that is what's happening here. So it's being, even though we can only visually see eye white only all the way to this edge, the eye white actually exists all the way to the middle of this black circle just behind it. So we don't want this. That's where auto patch comes in handy. Where auto patch, let's get rid of this, and auto patch, when you put it through auto patch, what auto patch does is it kind of like subtracts the line art and the color art, and then it only shows the color art portion the way we see it right here. So this is what's happening. I don't know if that actually made sense, but that's what that is. Jose asked, are the eye outline and the color one element or two different elements? They're one element. Just on a, like, you can make two elements. That's another way to go, but it's just much easier if you just do one element and then kind of separate it into the line and color layer. Yeah, the way you do that is you draw your line and the color line and the line layer, and then on the bottom you just kind of jump to, and then you do the white here. And the easy way to do that is in the line layer you have your line, and then you kind of fill that with white, select the white, cut it, go to the color layer and just paste it, and that should work perfectly. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking so much time to explain the eye portion, but this is one of the most simple areas where you have to apply all the masking and stuff. Like I talked about the mouth a bit, having sometimes needs to be like 5 different elements. So like when you're working with mouth, it's like eye times like 10. Like there's like a whole bunch of stuff going on. So let's keep moving. We all want to get home and do some fun stuff. I guess you guys are already home. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for hanging out with me in this weekend. I'm sure you have all these wonderful parties to go to, but let's see. Lashes. I think lashes are fine. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna select one of the lashes peg, and then do Control P, which creates another peg on top of it. And then I'm just gonna connect these 3 lashes to one peg here. So what that does is it's a hierarchy, right? This peg controls all 3 of them, which I need to move this thing for. I really should have extended. I think I'll do it now. I'm gonna extend these lashes out like so. So when I get to animate it, like I don't have to be too careful in staying inside this eye. I'll just do that really quickly. So I'm just gonna put this eyelash behind this whole eyelash composite right here. So this is all my eyelash. Like if I select the individual eyelashes, do I have to move this again? Yeah, let's just do that. Let us move the pivots. So I can select the individual eyelash like so, but if I hit B, it goes up in hierarchy. So I was here, and then yeah, I have this selected, and if I hit B, it goes up to the peg, and if I hit, so you can see it here, right? If I hit B again, it will jump up in hierarchy, and now I can just control all 3. But let's put this whole eyelash composite, I just put it in this composite so it can easily see, and let's put it behind the eye like so. And I'm just gonna move it like this, so it's for the visual clarity, so there'll be no clutter, right? So this whole network thing it's kind of scary at first, but it doesn't get any easier than this. Like this is as easy as it can get. This visual programming. I love it so much. Okay. I think that's all the tough stuff for this one eye. Oh yeah, so let's work on the hierarchy a little bit. Pupil, and if I hit B, I want to be able to select that and lashes too, I guess. I'm gonna rename this one I Master 1 or I1 Master. You can't have space in the element, so I think if you hit space, it just automatically creates the underscore line. I1 Master. Okay, that's pretty good. And I don't know. I probably shouldn't do this one by one, but because it's kind of time consuming, I would probably like move pivots once I'm all done and stuff. But why not? So, do you know? I'm not even gonna worry about the name stuff for now. So like this. So we have our eye. Okay, so here's the hierarchy. Pupil, I hit B button on my keyboard. Bye, Franco. Okay, yeah, I'll try to wrap it up pretty quickly. If I hit B button, goes up the pupil, now the whole eye, and then the brow. That includes the brow. Lashes can work independently. Okay. Yeah, let's just copy this whole eye and mirror it. I'm not gonna worry about the naming for now. I'm gonna make another composite, which I'll make use of very soon. So you can see that there's two sets of eyes. I'll give a lot of explanation at this point, just so that we can get this bit of thing done today. Okay, hair. I'll disable the hair for now. Okay, we'll just kind of do it like so. Is it lined properly? I guess it is. Okay, we'll do that. And okay, let's keep going at the speed of light. Let's work on the ear. Where's that ear? So I select it, and then I think I have my key set for center on selection. I just hit C, and boom. This is an easy way to find where you want to go. Like visually, you see the ear, click, and then boom. This is all this hair stuff. We'll worry about that in a minute. Oh, we're not done. We're not done with the face yet. What am I doing? Where's the nose? Okay, here's the nose. Put the nose on the top. Control P, give it a peg. And mouth. Where's that mouth? Okay, we'll put the mouth underneath the nose. Like so. Oops. Okay. I hope you guys can see. I'll try to verbalize as much as I can. So when we're actually building the mouth, this like mouth will be like this times 3 or 4. Or no, 2 times 2. Okay, so gonna make a peg, Control P. We'll name it face. Face master. Alright. And that peg will control the eyes, the mouth, the nose, and so on. We'll put that face control pivot where the nose is. Mouth pivot, I like to have it slightly above it. So if the character was smiling, like jaw opens, like the top of the mouth almost like never does. So when you're like talking, like it's the jaw that moves. So that's where you want the pivot to be. Excuse me. Yeah, so let's quickly do the ear portion. So this is my face right here. Let's do the auto patch on the ear and the head. So this is the head. I'm going to take just copy and paste the auto patch module and the cutter. So this is ear 1. Let's see. This is the head at the bottom here. You can see it selected in pink. Okay, the ear. Color. Okay, let me think about this 1 second. There we go. Okay, I'll do the same for this ear and I'll explain it very quickly what I've done. Or I guess I won't explain it, I'll just show you really quickly. Can't move those because they don't have pegs on them. Control P up. Head, ear, and ear. Okay. So now if I move this ear, it will kind of blend in seamlessly with that shape. It looks like it's actually blending in seamlessly only because we have a 2 skin color here, but if I were to kind of color this ear, what's actually happening is this. Is that hurting your eyes? I'll change it to there. So the black, so it's like it's being sandwiched, right? Just so this whole ear, the outline and the skin tone will be at the back behind the head, and then the green color portion, I'm gonna hook it up in front of the head, and it's just kind of coming in forward like so. Okay, moving on. We're almost done, sort of. Pivot here, head, pivot here, where base of the neck, because that's how heads move. Okay, let's turn back on all the... So, kind of similar. Similar concept here. Okay, let's see. So first thing, her hair right now doesn't have any outlines on it. So we don't have to worry too much about auto patching and all that. I think we just need to worry about cutter. Oh gosh. Oh, I thought it's crashing. Okay, yeah, I'll finish up really quickly and I'll show you like a KD build or something like that, and we'll wrap up our day here. So there'll be another 10 minutes. I hope microphone is working okay. I'm still broadcasting through like Adobe Audition and to reduce the background noise and stuff, but I think it might pop every now and then, so I'll check it out once I'm finished streaming and cry. Okay, let's move this hair thing all the way here. This hair, where are you? So that guy and this guy, I want it behind the head, like so. Perfect. And I'll create another peg, whoops, to control those. I'll move the pivot later. Let's see, these guys, and that's those guys. Yeah, let's separate those as well. Okay. So how will this work? Let's think about it for a second. So this is the top hair, which will go behind this ear, but in front of okay, we'll put it through the cutter, auto patch like so. Yeah, I obviously need to actually think a lot about this. Let's refer to our original, quote-unquote original design here. Let's see, what have I done here? Okay, so the hair kind of goes all the way to here. It's not really meant to be like this. Alright, when you're building, you don't really want to mess with the animation tools because that's for animators only, but for our purposes, let's just do that. Okay, let's do the same for the other. This is that. Okay, let's do it for that, like so. Yeah, when you're building, you really shouldn't be using animation tools. Okay, I think the head is kind of done. Let's quickly kind of do some weird hierarchy thing. Ear. Where's the other hair? Okay. Now let's see. So I want the hierarchy to be like that, and then if I hit one more time, yeah, entire face, entire head, headmaster. I think this should work for now. It should suit our purpose to show you kind of basic feel of the build. I'm gonna change the pupil back to black. There we go. It's not so bad. Yeah, I mean, if I had actual time, I'll probably like make sure, you know, there's outline on this, and then it'll get kind of like blend in perfectly and all that. But yeah, so you kind of like move around. Let's do quick, quote unquote, test run of this. So let's say if she was yeah, I didn't do any blinks and stuff because that requires that I have to design the eye shape and all that jazz. And like this hair shape is kind of funky, so I'll probably have to do something about that. And pivots are right now all over the place, which is not what you want. So if you actually design it well enough, you can kind of it becomes much easier to have the character rotate in like 3D, I guess. So let's say if I were to kind of like tween this thing, just complete tween. Yeah, that's kind of what you get. There's some funky stuff going on with this stuff. But yeah, like, you know, these two frames work kind of works well. Yeah, it's kind of neat. So this is like one of the reasons why you know, some design work better than others when it comes to like this. Like her head is completely round, so I don't have to worry about like all the different like ridges. So before we wrap up, if you have any last questions, feel free to ask them, and I'll quickly show you just examples of more complete builds I have done in the past. Just gonna quickly see if that's the right version. Okay. And let's bring back the camera. So this is a Katie build that I was kind of messing with. I think this is like one of the more complete build I have done. So this is all kind of extra stuff that you don't need to see necessarily, but like this module, where are you? Okay, there we go. So I kind of grouped her build into this. So this is her entire view. Did I group her head? This is okay. So within this, where's her head? There it is. This is her head right here. This little tiny thing. You open it up, go inside. This is her entire head. But yeah, this is not the way I would work now. This is before I knew about auto patch and all that stuff. This is all done in brush. But I built different views. So when you're working with design as well, like, you also want to think about how all these pieces will work as they are being rotated. Sometimes you can use the same piece, like this. Her ear is just one drawing. I don't think I did any different drawing other than maybe this one. I just took out the lines. But yeah, you'll never see her in this view because that's horrendous. Also, yeah, I don't like the design. It's a little too stiff, kind of hard to work with. I think this one I had deformer applied to it. So this is like, her leg is like just single drawing, but I can kind of use deformer to bend it and stuff. It can be a useful time-saving tool, but if you misuse it, it can be really horrible looking. So right here, if I use deformer, all those like edges look kind of all messed up. But if you were to actually render this frame, it kind of looks like this. So this part is relatively, it's not perfect, but you know, it's acceptable. Here you kind of have to work around it. I think I may have bent too far, but if you want to actually get that type of look, then there's some certain tricks that you can do to cover this up. Yeah, like I designed, this is my design. I don't know, just drawing I suppose, but yeah, she's like way too, I don't know, it's a little awkward. Besides, like, I think I like the kid version of her. It's just much more fun to work with than these like straight arm characters. I think that's all I have to say for now. I don't know, hope it's been entertaining. No, thanks again for coming out. Yeah, it's like weekend, Friday night. Like, thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, have I missed any questions or anything like that? All right, cool. Well, yeah, so maybe if I do another one of these, I don't know if I'm gonna do like Kyu-bum one like next time. Maybe I'll do the drawing one next time just to switch it up, but I'll definitely like revisit and kind of work on the Emily build bit by bit. But like I probably won't use it ever because it's not the design isn't perfect. So, but you know, it's kind of practice makes perfect. So, thanks again. I'll see you guys next time. And have a good weekend.